I'm going to share with you some maybe little known facts about Juneteenth and about the circumstances surrounding. We refer to the African Holocaust as the MAAFA. And that period of time generates from about 1619, when enslaved people were first brought to the New World. And actually there were Africans still here in North America, South America. There's evidence of up in the Canada and Alaska that Africans had traversed the seas during that time. So the first people, black people here, were not enslaved. This chart here kind of talks about, there's been about 50 years from 1964 when the Civil Rights Act was signed, but from 1865 when this Emancipation Proclamation was signed, up until the Civil Rights signing, about 99 years, black people in America still had no civil rights. And that's kind of surprising for a lot of people, but it's the truth.
Enslaved Africans created a space to revitalize themselves and to project a narrative and vision of freedom. They chose life over death. And in so doing, they created the conditions for a spiritual solution that ultimately allowed them to celebrate their political freedom on what is called Juneteenth. And they also had to deal with one other aspect, and that is a religious system of Christianity in the United States that sought to disempower them and really actually make them better slaves. And so this was the message that came from the slave Bible or the primers that they were exposed to. And in this slave Bible and in these primers, 90% of the New and Old Testaments were removed because they were considered dangerous to the interests of the enslavers and their government. These versions contained only passages that promoted obedience to masters and government officials. But during the Hush Harbors, the narrative of the children of Israel, which wasn't in the slave Bible, and their deliverance from slavery was told. This is a story that the enslaved Africans identified with. And they sang songs like Deep River, I'm crossing over Jordan into the promised land. And so they held on to that vision. And so like them, we too can choose to hold a vision of liberation of ourselves, and for all people. And so again, that's what Juneteenth represents.
Ahiah.